Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Smith back again. So just to kind of catch up where we've been, on Friday you should have watched my video and learned about functions, and then worked on this function practice, which I did a few of them in the video, and then you should have just finished it up on your own. Again, if you needed help, please come to the office hours. But at this point, this video is for Independent Learning Day, Monday, October 14th. So this is when you should be at home. I will be at a professional learning day. You can reach me by email and stuff, but there's not going to be an office hours on this day. So yeah. So here we go. Unit 2 summative functions lab. So we need to hit a summative real quick. It's just, it's time for us to get one done. So I'm going to make the functions lab a summative because it really covers variables, input, output, condition statements, and then functions. So 5 big things that we've hit, with some littler things like scope and formatting and syntax and running and all that stuff. Um, so let's take a quick look at the function lab real quick. So the lab is called, and this is going to be our summative, this is called All About Triangles. So you will be writing a program that asks the user to input 3 integer values, representing the 3 sides of a triangle. You will then run 5 different functions, all right? So we know that we're going to have 3 variables called 3 integer variables, and then we're going to have 5 functions that we're going to create. All right, and I outline the 5 functions for you. One's called isTriangle, isRightTriangle, the perimeter, the area, and display. All right, so your code will only work for positive integer values. All right, so if you put in a negative number, your code should not work, and you can decide whether to handle that gracefully or not. Um, but I'm actually gonna go through and I'm gonna work through a lot of this. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like 3 of these with you, and then the other 2 you'll be left to do on your own. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. So first thing you need to do is pull up our shell, which is called idle. So IDLE Python is what you need to pull up. All right, it always comes up like this, but we know that we need to go to File, New File, and then this is where we're going to actually work. So File, Save As, and then figure out where you like to save your projects. So I am going to go and find our class, and I am going to find Python projects. And I know that this is our unit to summative. Or if y'all want to, y'all can just call it triangles. Um, triangles. All right. So again, we're gonna just keep going back and forth with the lab, um, and then kind of go from there. Right. So the first thing that I know, right, and we haven't done a lot of this. If we were in class, I would definitely show y'all and talk about this for a little bit. But we are actually going to need to import the math class to begin. All right, the reason we need to do that is because we are going to be using um, the square root. And so here you'll see that under area, we actually need the square root function. So it is part of the math class. Okay. All right, so now we're going to have 5 functions. So let's define these functions together. All right. And then, so remember that when I taught y'all, functions should be at the top of the program, right? That's just a little comment to remind you. And then we're going to put our variables in the middle. And then we're going to, actually write the algorithm for our program. All right, so that's going to be kind of our steps, right? Functions first, variables, then algorithm. All right, so in the lab, I outline the 5 functions. So isTriangle is the first one. So to define a function, we say def is triangle, and then the colon. All right, so that is our very first function. Our second function, if we go look at the lab, is called isRightTriangle. So we're going to hit a def isRightTriangle. Okay. Third function, perimeter. All right. That one's easy. So remember the like standard in Python is to use underscores if you have multi-word names, so that's why we're doing that. All right, then we need area. Def area is our next function, and our last function is display triangle. All right, so display triangle. So we have our 5 functions. Oh, I left off the word def. Remember, you got to keep def to make sure it's a function. All right, so we've got our 5 functions for this lab defined. So let's take a look at where we want to go next. So looks like we could just work on each function. So isTriangle, okay, it returns true any combinations of 2 sides is greater than the third side. So for instance, if side A and side B are greater than C, it returns true. If A and C are greater than B, it returns true. If B and C are greater than A, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Okay, cool. So basically we're saying, well, let's do this. Let's create a variable called result and make it false to begin with. All right, and remember in Python, your Boolean variables have to be capital. So false has to have a capital F and true has to have a capital T. Notice that I did lowercase and nothing happened. So you're looking for that color change to know that you did it right. All right. Make sure you indent, guys. All right. So we're basically going to have conditions here, right? Here's a condition, here's a condition, here's a condition. If any of these are met, we're going to change result to be true. All right, so if A plus B is greater than C. So I'm going to call this side A plus side B is greater than side C. If this happens, result becomes true. Okay. Elif, what's our next combo? Side A and C. Side A plus side B is greater than, no, wait, what did I say? C is greater than side B. Let me double check that. A, C, and B. Side A plus side C is greater than side B. Yep. Our result is then going to be true. Elif, all right, our third one is if B plus C is greater than A. Side B plus side C is greater than side A. Okay, result is going to be true. Else, our final thing is else. Oh my god, guys, sorry. I definitely left the equals out on these. Please go back and put them. Result equals true. Result equals true. Result equals true. And then here, result equals false. Which, we're doing a little extra work, but I want y'all to see it visually what's going on. Some of y'all might understand why that's extra work, but okay. And then now, right here, we just need to return our result. All right, so basically, if this is true, we make result true. Else if this is true, we make this true. Else if this is true, we make this true. Else result stays false, and then we return the result. All right, so I think before we do the other functions here, let's test this. So let's actually write some code to test it. So we need our actual variables, right? Because here I have side A, side B, and side C. So we need to write code to get side A, side B, and side C. And the way we're going to do that, I'm going to enter down so y'all can kind of see better. Side A, we're going to take user input. So we're going to say input, enter your first triangle side. And, oh, sorry. So we want them to enter their first triangle side. But when they type that in, it's going to be a string. So we actually need it to be an int, so we have to cast this. We have to wrap that whole input statement in an int. So again, we're going to do that again. Input, enter your second triangle side. Right? But then we need to wrap it in an int because it needs to be a number and not a string. And then finally, I'm going to wrap it from the beginning. Enter your third triangle side. Okay. So there we go, right? We got side A, side B, side C. All right. So that is us getting our variables. And then let's do so let's test this one, right? So if we think about it, if we call is triangle, it's going to return true or false, right? So if I go here and let's say I just want to print out, oh, sorry guys, I was doing Java. I just want to print, is it a triangle, right? So is it a triangle plus is triangle. Oh, underscore is triangle. So I am calling this method up here. All right, and I think this is going to work. Let me double check. Okay, these are mad because I haven't finished them, so it may not let me run it. Let me try to delete those out. Okay, so first side, I don't know, 5 by 5 by 10. Okay. Cannot concatenate a bool. So I did mess up here, guys. Because this returns a boolean, we need to turn it into a string. So I kind of knew that was coming. I just wanted to make that mistake so I could remind you. So because this returns a boolean up here, a true or false, we have to actually concat or cast it to a string so it'll work. All right. So now if I run that, let's do 5, 5, and 10, and it says true. So that is a triangle. So if I run it again, though, and then I give it values that make it not a triangle, so like 5, 5, and 2. Oh, is that still a triangle? Wait, when do we... Oh, I guess like 5, 5, 5 would not be, right? So 5, 5, 5? No, that's still true. When is it not a triangle? So A and B are greater than C. So I need like one of those. Oh, you need A and B to be less than C. So, for instance, 1 and 10 and 3. That's still true. Huh. Well, I know we're doing it right. Let's see. Result false. Well, first off, I need to get my things back here. Alright, so again, make this a string. I will play with this, guys. Like, I know that is, I will double check myself, but I know that we did this correct, so I will double check that. If one of y'all figures out why it's not throwing a false every once in a while, just let me know. Yeah, I'll check on that. I'll check on that. All right, so that is our first one, right? So we now need to continue on with the lab. So like we walked through that whole first scenario. We did this. Like this is done. So now we need to do is right triangle, and we need to do perimeter and area. I'm gonna do one more with y'all before I let you kind of do it on your own. But area here, the area uses this math dot square root. So I'm going to do that one with you just because it's a little bit different. Okay. So you're going to do right triangle, perimeter, and display triangle. Shouldn't be hard on your own. All right. I might do display triangle with you. We'll see. So to do the area, it returns the area of the triangle using Heron's formula. So that is area is equal to the square root of P, where P is the perimeter. So we actually got to do the perimeter. I forgot we got to do perimeter to be able to do that one. Oh, joy. All right, well, perimeter is easy. So we're going to do the perimeter first. Returns the perimeter of the triangle. If y'all didn't know, perimeter is just side A plus side B plus side C, right? That's it. Side A, side B, side C, all right? So that one's kind of a freebie there for you. So the area, to calculate the area, it returns the triangle using Heron's formula. So we just need to do this formula. So first thing we need to do, we need to check to see if, and we're going to call is triangle. So we're going to call that method we did. So if is triangle is false, which means it's not a triangle, we are going to return 0. So if it is not a triangle, return 0. Else, we're going to have P, which is going to be our variable for perimeter, is equal to, now we're going to call the perimeter function and divide it by 2. All right? And that I did that because it says it right here. Area is this formula where P is the perimeter divided by 2. P is the perimeter divided by 2. So we did P is equal to perimeter, called that function, divided by 2. Okay, so now we need to calculate that area. All right, so and that's just this equation here. So square root, so math dot sqrt, and that's from our import math up here. So math dot sqrt is equal to P, right? P times, and then it's P minus side A times P minus side B times P minus side C. All right. So I'm looking at it. Okay, everything looks good there. And then finally, we want to return area. All right, so first we see if our triangle is false, return 0. Else, we calculate P, which is the perimeter. So we call perimeter. So it goes up here. Oh, sorry, right here. And it calculates that and returns it down to here. Divide that by 2. Then we do the square root of all those things and we return it. All right. So to test this, let's just say, let's print the area of the triangle 4 plus, and then remember we got to turn it into a string, and we're going to call it area. Okay. So I need to go, guys, to test it. I've got to delete my other functions we haven't done yet, or else it's going to be mad. I don't have to delete them. Better thing to do is comment them out. So if I put a hashtag in front, comments them out so they'll be ignored. All right. So let's run this. Okay, everything compiled. So that's good news here. All right, everything compiled. So 5, 3, 4. All right, so 5, 3, 4. Is it a triangle? True. And the area should be 6. So what I just did is if you look at the lab, right? So technically now we've done perimeter and we just finished area. So what I just did is I did one of the sample runs here. So 5, 3, 4, right? And what we're looking at is we've done this. It's a true triangle. And the perimeter is 12 and the area is 6. So my area, I did get 6. Let me go back and let's print out the perimeter too. Let's test the perimeter. So print the perimeter of the triangle is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus a string, and I'm calling perimeter just like that. All right, so if we run this again, let me okay, I exited that, so let's run. Okay, so again, I'm gonna do, let's do this one, 6, 3, 2. So if I do 6, 3, and 2, it gets mad at me. Why am I mad? So when 6, 3, 2, look what happens to the area. The area becomes 0. So that's why this threw an error on us. So let's try one more. Let's do one of our other examples here. So let's try 10, 2, and 9. So 10, 2, and 9. So we get, it is a true triangle. Perimeter is 21 and 8.18. So true triangle, 21, 8.18. So the reason I give you all these sample runs is so that you can test your code, right? So we're testing ours as we're going right now, and it's all working really, really well so far. All right, so I am going to leave y'all to do right triangle and display triangle on your own. Again, guys, this lab, you're going to work on this on Monday. On Wednesday the 16th, we're synchronous. I'm thinking about moving the list stuff to the week we get back in person. Monday the 21st, I will have a sub though because I'm going to be in Texas with my buddy. But I think I'm going to move the list stuff down. And I'm going to give you all next week. So you're going to have Monday to work by yourself on the independent learning day, and then we'll work together in class on it on Wednesday. And get that, make sure everybody gets the summative wrapped up. But as always, let me know if you have any questions. Y'all stay safe. See ya.